Today, I would like to talk about nonverbal communication between males and females. I'd like to focus more specifically on the masculine and feminine version and be able to answer why don't men and women communicate in the same ways and what are their differences and why. First, I would like to speak about male communication, traditionally known as a masculine style of speaking. They are task-related communicators, meaning that when they get into a conversation, their goal is to come up with a solution or a resolve. They also are debaters in larger settings. They will be the first group of individuals to disagree with a speaker or challenge a point of view. They are dominant and like to make their presence known. Nonverbally, that would be taking up space or speaking in a louder tone or just having a much more awareness in a room. Their topics vary. They are people who go from topic to topic and they don't go into great depth. They cover a lot of ideas in a short amount of time. They also are less likely to touch. A group of men outside of like a sports arena, but in like a business setting, are not going to have a lot of physical touch in their communication. And lastly, their speaking distance. Men, generally speaking, masculine communicators have a slightly farther distance than do feminine style communicators. This could just be, again, the dominance kicking in where they're wanting to have their own personal space. Next, I would like to speak about female communicators. They tend to speak in a feminine style. Characteristics of a feminine communicator would be they're relationship based. So when they're in a group setting, they are concerned with the feelings and emotions and how everyone feels about a topic rather than achieving a certain goal in the conversation. They're intimate, meaning they speak in groups. I don't know if you've been to a girl slumber party, but they sprawl out on the bed. They're close quarters. They want to the event and the idea to get together is to simply talk and communicate with one another. Um, Again, close proximity. They make eye contact. It's a way to be more intimate. They are more likely to touch and hug or to get somebody's attention. They're encouragers. They like everybody in the room to be a part of the conversation. So they'll make more high-end, they'll end their sentences on a higher tone, or they'll add add-ons like, so like, what do you think? Or you know what I mean? Things like that that engage others in the conversation. They're very group oriented in that way. Another thing about women is they're very detail oriented. And I have a clip on this next slide that I would suggest maybe going and looking at. It is very funny. It's a show Friends. Ross and Rachel kiss for the first time, and Ross tells his buddies about it in about 5 seconds, whereas Rachel and her girlfriends want to make an evening event out of the first kiss that Ross and her have. So the next idea here is what happens when those worlds collide, when you have a male and a female communicating. And the example I'm going to go over is attraction. So some attraction behaviors that are nonverbal are eye contact and gazing. It's interesting, both of them have gazing qualities when they are attracted to somebody. They make eye contact, they kind of look away, and then they make eye contact again. This is called a submission gaze. It lets them know that they are into you. They are wanting to come back for more. According to All Women Talk, men try to be caught gazing at a girl. It allows him to know that she's approachable and that she's into him without the actual rejection of being told, yeah, I'm just not interested, or the embarrassment of going up and approaching her and being turned down. Um, Eye flirting is something that both masculine and feminine communicators participate in. However, they're slightly different. Women are more subtle about it. They bat their eyes, so they would look at their mate, look down, look up, look down, uh, hence the batting eyes. It's a seductive type look. Men tend to stare deeply, they're more engaging. It's almost like they're looking into you and they're trying to get intimate with their look in their eyes. Touch and proximity is also another nonverbal characteristic of attraction. And what I found interesting about this is that men tend to be the first to close the gap, the distance. So while they're the first ones to make space when they're communicating, when they're attracted to somebody, they will actually close that distance first. Whereas women are more likely to make the first touch. They're touch style communicators, and when they're attracted to somebody, they're more likely to reach out and touch that individual. Lastly, I'm going to show you, these are some references that I used to gather some of this research. And when doing this research, mind you, all of these facts and the study is done on the American style culture of masculine and feminine communication. Unfortunately, a lot of these ideas and theories don't apply around the world. For example, in the Middle East, actually women are perceived to be the ones to invade space first. They're the ones that will close the gap and more likely to offend a male by their presence. So I would like to do more research just culturally the differences, because I know that if you take an American feminine communicator and place her in another culture, the results and the feedback might not be as welcoming.